Time is the most formidable and difficult problem which confronts humanity. In order to attempt to understand the concept of time, we have to break it down into moments. Moments that we conceive of happening one after another. It's as if we look at reality through a narrow slit, and what we see through this slit, we call the present. What we just saw, and now do not see, that's the past. And what we don't see yet, but are expecting to see, we call the future. But if we think that the past doesn't exist, that it's transformed itself into something else, we don't know what, and the future doesn't exist either, not as of yet, then what we call the present is really just the moment where the future turns into the past. In other words, the point in time when we move from one non-existence into another non-existence. Welcome to the modern city. Human society on a mega scale. Does it leave you feeling a little anxious? Anxiety, uncertainty, the constant pressure to move faster, communicate quicker, accomplish more in less time, to keep pace with our own technology. To think, move, and communicate as fast as the machines we've created has reached beyond the comprehension and control of the average individual. And so here we find ourselves carried by the current of a sea change in human life to God knows where. And we wonder why we're so anxious. Prosperity and convenience has led us to relinquish the control of our fates to those who now control the destiny of a new global society. A megaculture of clashing beliefs, political systems, technologies, and temperaments that tempt us to retreat into our own lifespans. We've turned in on ourselves and cut ourselves off from all context, forgotten who we are, where we came from, and how we got here. In school, we were taught that history happened to other people, dead people, without connection to the world we live in today. How then to begin to understand this awesome and terrifying thing that is America at the dawn of a new millennium? When an archaeologist wants to understand a culture, he goes to a place where the remains of that culture are preserved. There is only one place in America where all the vast changes that shape this nation over its lifespan still stand. Philadelphia is the fifth largest city in the United States, falling behind New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, and Houston. We are all aware of the 4-block radius that was the birthplace of our nation, but Philadelphia holds a lot more than an old broken bell. This city is a microcosm of all the forces and peoples that shaped this nation from the time when Philadelphia was the second largest city in the British Empire into its 19th century industrial greatness and onto its decline in the modern age. In his 1963 book, The Perennial Philadelphians, Anatomy of an American Aristocracy, author Nathaniel Burt describes Philadelphia as the most Chinese of American cities, existing for nearly a century with something like a wall around itself, with its antique culture, society, and institutions existing in a preserved, if decaying, state. But in recent years, Philadelphia has awoken from its 19th century dream to realize exactly what it is. An American Pompeii, a preserved monument to our past, both national and personal, obscured by time and decay. waiting to be uncovered. We're inviting you on an archaeological dig into forgotten history, to take a deeper look at a city of unlimited fascination finally ready to reveal its strange and resilient greatness, to dig into the hidden causes that continue to shape our lives today. A city that has moved forward in time with always one eye to the past. And through excavating the hidden treasures of our own history, the racial riots and civil war, technological achievements and cultural greatness, immigration and aristocracy, booms and busts, perhaps come to a greater understanding of who we are and where we intend to go. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. To the angel of the church in Philadelphia write, these are the words of him who is holy and true, who holds the key of David. What he opens no one can shut, and what he shuts no one can open. I know your deeds. See, I have placed before you a door that no one can shut. I know that you have little strength, yet you have kept my word and not denied my name. Hold on to what you have, so that no one will take your crown. Him who overcomes, I will make a pillar in the temple of my God. Never again will he leave it. I will write on him the name of my God and the name of the city of my God, the new Jerusalem, which is coming down out of heaven from my God. And I will also write on him my new name. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. This is from the book of Revelations, chapter 4, verses 7 to 13, and there could be no doubt that the young William Penn had these words on his mind when he began the planning of his holy experiment.
Quakers, or the Society of Friends, began in England as part of a reaction to Puritanism and the Puritan Revolution. Quakers were a result of disillusionment with the course of English history. The essential belief was that there is the ability in every person to experience what they called the light of God. Didn't need a minister, you didn't need an education in order to experience God directly. You come to Pennsylvania for the same reason that Penn thinks he got the grant from the king. That is, it is to be a religious experience to come to Pennsylvania. But the settlers, just like Penn, say a religious experience is not incompatible with making money.
The ideals of toleration and capitalism are wedded here in Philadelphia, creating a society based on mobility, not nobility, and developing the first sense of that truly American ideal that anyone could succeed here if they're willing. Soon oppressed people from all over Europe are flowing into the colony.
Philadelphia became a major port despite the inconvenience of its location way up the Delaware River. With that kind of commercial activity, a seaports activity, there came finance too. There had to be loans, there had to be money made available for the merchants carrying on commerce out of Philadelphia.
And at the same time, the Quakers have these trading networks in Philadelphia, in the West Indies, and in London, and so they will become the big families, the great merchants. Well, you get a prosperous society.
Tolerant Quaker policies bring all sorts of people to the new colony, but the now wealthy Quaker elite is still running the show. However, some of these other people, and a few forward-thinking Quakers, begin to say that there's more to a society than making a buck. And while the Quakers were the first to establish charity schools, public education for both men and women, they aren't too keen on the intellectual pursuits. Enter Benjamin Franklin.
You could argue that the vision that we would like America to be grows much more out of early Pennsylvania than it grows out of either Virginia or Massachusetts. Puritan intolerance, Virginia slavery. Where America was shaped was Philadelphia and the middle colonies. That is, economically diversified. A population of every stripe. Religions, incredible variety. A kind of energy, impulse that is that helps shape the American character.
I said the little leather-winged bat, I'll tell to you the reason that I fly by nights, because I lost my heart's delight. Howdy-dowdy diddle-um-day, howdy-dowdy diddle-um-day, oh, howdy-dowdy diddle-um-day, hey-la-dee-dee-li-dee-lo. I said the blackbird sitting on a chair. Once I courted a maiden fair. She grew fickle and turned her back, and ever since then I dressed in black. Howdy dowdy diddle-dum day, howdy dowdy diddle-dum day, howdy dowdy diddle-dum day. Hey, li-li-li-li-lo. Oh, I said the woodpecker sitting on a fence. Once I courted a handsome wench.